Well, let's get started. Um, so talk to me about this last week. What are you noticing, especially with the holidays, with Christmas? Which, by the way, I hope you all had a Merry Christmas. But talk to me. What did we learn during the holidays?
I get very impatient with people. like like with them forcing me, like them trying to sway me into being bad, or oh, it's just a chocolate. Oh, it's just Christmas. Oh, it's Christmas. You should have one with me. And like peer pressure, I guess is the word. And I kind of got really irritated with my uncle. I'm like, look, you can't do that. It's not fair. Just don't. And he's like, oh, get mad. And I'm like, it's not that I'm mad at you or anything. Just I don't need the extra pressure. And he's like, okay, I get it. Well, you can start next week. I'm like, you just don't get it. And I had to like walk away and kind of be kind of rude to him because he just like wouldn't drop it. And like I'm trying to be like very positive with him. It's just like, you don't need that. I don't need that. Don't even go there. Like trying to be playful with him. But he was like kind of being a jerk about it. And I'm just like, no, you don't get to be a jerk because of the choices that I'm making. You can eat it all you want. Here, you can even have my box of them. But I started getting really impatient with people when they're like, oh, it's Christmas time. You could go one day. And it's just like, you just don't get it. And I don't want to get caught up in like trying to make them get it. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
And I just caught myself like getting kind of pissy with people.
Okay. Yeah. So a lot of times people don't understand the lifestyle, and to people it's foreign, and that's something that you can notice in society, and that's why I know I'm always going to have a job is because um, society just accepts these things. Like this is
Mm.
supposedly normal. Um, when they're the things that make people gain weight and they make people miserable, and they. So think about this: the reason why people love the holidays and why food's so big in it, and this is why when we think about the holidays, our minds go to food, is because it's like someone who's on drugs, it's a time for them to eat their stress away. Like they don't have to worry. It's not just that it has good taste to it. It actually has to do with the emotional side of it that when it's the holidays, I can eat good and I can forget about all the worries and stress that I have going on in my life. So it's actually associated with more like a drug of sedation. So if someone were to smoke pot, if someone were to get drunk, it's the same thing. It has that same stimulant that our bodies attract to. So so you're exactly right, Mandy. The other people don't understand the lifestyle. They understand sedation. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that's good.
Yeah.
So your best part is to do just what you did. You just say no and you just keep on loving them and let them sedate. Okay?
Right. I guess I don't know where I just need to be like where I cut it off, where I just am like, just stop. Where it's like, or I'll take it and I'll go just put it down somewhere else, or like just to get him to shut up. I just
Yeah.
am like, I, I guess I just need to be more direct and not let it bug me as much as it did.
Hmm. So sometimes even on our part, it's just a communication barrier.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Heidi, what about you? What did you notice this week?
Well, I think I kind of had the opposite, honestly. Like, I think a lot of the people that I've been around and stuff, I've just kind of been explaining stuff to them, and they've seen me like take my own food and stuff like that, and they just, I guess they've just kind of accepted it. And so I really didn't have anybody that was trying to shove anything in my face. Um, so I guess it was kind of the opposite for me. It was nice.
Hmm. Awesome. So you're noticing all the support that you have.
Yeah, yeah. I actually even, there's some times where my friends will be like, hey, how about this? When we're out and about or whatever, can you do this? This probably will be okay for you to eat. So they really are being supportive.
So cool.
Yeah.
That's
What are
awesome.
you learning about yourself then with all of this?
Oh my gosh, it's just so it's just amazing just the things that have changed for me.
Hmm.
Like I did what you said. I cleaned my house out, which was pretty cool.
Hmm.
And just with my kids and my husband, they're excited to do it. And so I'm getting so much support, and I think that definitely makes it a lot easier.
Absolutely.
And like I'm just noticing just I don't know, just how much better I feel about it all.
Hmm.
So it's just I don't know, it's been amazing for me. I have not, had a lot of struggles. So,
That's so cool. So see, Heidi, all we did with you is we took this old lifestyle, and rather than like saying that we're getting rid of it and you're leaving empty-handed, we actually created what's called abundance in your life, and we actually added more to it. And the way that we did that is we cleaned out all the crap. Now you have more to offer. Like now, because you cleaned out all the crap, you live in this abundant life where it's like I do more, I feel better, my family's happy. Like this is everything that everyone wants, and people will search for it, but because they hold on to their old lifestyle, it makes it very hard for them to come into this abundance where it's like, oh, this is really what I wanted from my health journey. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Yes,
Whereas,
it does actually.
whereas most people, when they start a diet, they live in scarcity because they give up something, and now they're in this scarcity where I can't. But really, what you've found is you can live a healthy, happy life, but you have to get rid of the stuff that makes you miserable first.
Yeah, I think one of my biggest things is letting myself and letting everybody else know around me I'm not on a diet. Like, I honestly do not feel like I'm on a diet. This is nothing like all the diets that what I've done in the past.
Hmm.
It's just everything's so different about it, and I just make sure that I let everybody know this definitely isn't a diet for me.
Yeah, it's
This
like,
this is my life change, and this is going to be us forever.
yeah. And see how much more fun it is when it's us, and when it's this is my lifestyle. It's not I'm not doing anything that's crazy. It's just this is the changes that I need to make to live the happy, healthy lifestyle that I wanted.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Mandy,
When I started changing, like when I started doing more of what I've been doing the last little while, it's weird how people like, what are you doing? You're eating all the time, but you're getting smaller, and it's like, I don't know, I'm just feeding my body and it's loving it, and I have these weird muscles popping out everywhere, and my mother-in-law, she's so funny. She's like, the other night she came over to my work, and I have my work shirt is kind of a shorter sleeve shirt, and she's like, "Your muscles are almost as big as your husband's." I'm like, "I know, they look good, huh?" She's like, because it's funny because like she's not that way. She's not one to diet or anything. She has a pretty strict diet with her diabetes and like that type of thing. But for her to notice and like her to take part in it and be like, "Oh, I can see that you're working hard." It's like I love when people are like can see that you're working hard and that you're doing it and they actually acknowledge it. It's like, yeah, I am working my ass off and I carry around that little butt cooler wherever I go and I drink 1,000 pounds of water, and I like that acknowledgement.
and like you guys all know that I live the lifestyle because I'm sitting here and I'm on this webinar and I'm eating because I know that this is if I don't, then I'm ruined the rest of the day, right? So it's just I just get used to it. Like I'm completely used to like, oh Matt, this doesn't look professional. It's like no, you need to see that this is how I live.
Mhm.
Like people want to think that it's so unrealistic to eat in front of people, and there's all these taboos about food and eating and polite, and really
Mhm.
It's just what these stories that we've created in our heads. Like, if you want to
Mhm.
eat, like make it part of your lifestyle, right?
Mhm. Yep.
So cool. Like Heidi, I love it. I love your journey that it's only been like 1 month and it's a completely different Heidi.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think a lot of it has to do with like I was definitely ready, and I think you have to be ready.
Hmm.
If you're not ready, you're just going to fall back, into the bad habits and doing that. But like I've just noticed like this last week, seriously, I spent the whole week not even home. So, I mean, we were out doing a lot of shopping and we were out, of course, at so many Christmas parties and different things like that. And I chose not to take food with me
Hmm.
at a couple of the places anyway. And I was kind of worried when I stepped on the scale today because I was like, I'm pretty sure I did okay. Like I feel like I chose the right foods at these places that we had went to. And so I was a little nervous, but I was pretty excited when I stepped on the scale today because I was like, I did it! I did it!
What was your scale today?
So I lost 2 pounds.
Holy cow. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
That's awesome.
My husband wasn't here to help me do my measurements, so, but I definitely can see a difference, like just by looking at myself in the different spots, that are my main spots that, I definitely wanted to change. I can see those changing too.
Yeah,
So I'm kind of excited to do some measurements too.
that's so cool.
Good.
So Heidi, how old are you?
41.
41. So see, here's
Had to think about that.
okay. So here's what I always like people to realize is that you've taken 41 years to create the body that you have, right? So a lot of times when we start like weight loss journeys, and this is the problem with a lot of weight loss programs is that people think that there's an end. Like when you start a fitness journey, like people think that there's an end. And really there's not an end. There's actually always more and there's always another part of it. Um, it's like you're going to like this is really a funny analogy to think about it, but you think about a video game, right? Or I'm trying to think if there's like a board game that would work with it. I can't think of anything, but you think about if you ever like played Mario on Nintendo or whatever. Mario goes through the first stage, and Mario the first stage is really easy, and then you progress to the next level, and then you progress to the next level. There's always more that's going to be added to you, and the further along the journey, the more challenges you can take on yourself, and so you're really just unlocking more. So with fitness, it's really about unlocking more of your life. And and that's what makes the journey so fun is because along the way you're finding more and more things that you're capable of doing. Um where this right now we're in winter obviously, but when summer approaches, you may say I want to hike this mountain in Utah and you go and hike
Mhm.
and you realize like I can live life. I'm not limited by my health anymore. Okay?
Mhm.
So,
Right.
what do you hear me saying?
Well, I'd like it's kind of like you're trying to find that key to unlock the next level, and you have given us the tools to do so. So it's like, hey, here's what you are. Where how are you going to find your princess, or how are you going to find the key to get to the next level? Like I get it. Like
Yeah.
I get the video game analogy.
Yeah, you just keep going and keep going and keep
Yeah.
keep going. Like I definitely understand that. There's never going to be an end to it. And it's awesome to think that.
Yeah. It makes it fun because you don't have to feel rushed. You don't have to feel like, oh crap, I gained weight. So what? If you gain a pound, if you gain 5 pounds in a week, like it's okay. You know how to lose weight, so just get back on, make the adjustments that you need to make, and get back on course. right?
Right.
Yeah.
Most people, they beat themselves up because they think that they've totally failed, and then they fall back into their old life. But that's why I told you to, at the very beginning, to kill your old life so that you would have
Mhm.
nothing to fall back onto. The only life you would have to fall back onto is really your new, healthy, fit life. So,
Right.
Right.
Heidi, and I want to ask you one more thing: is as you were out to eat and things, what did you learn about yourself as you would go out to eat and things?
Um, I think I just learned that you don't have to stop. Like I originally would think that you almost have to stay in your house. That's how I used to think. I
Mm-hmm.
can't, if I'm going to do this, like I can't go out anywhere. There's just no way that you can, you know, lose weight and still be able to go out and do the things that make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned that, as long as you're strong and and I feel that I'm there, like, to be strong enough to be able to go out to a place.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so awesome to go to a restaurant and to sit there and just look at the menu, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I get that. That's protein. Oh, there's my green right there. It was just, it made me feel really good about myself to think that I was strong enough to look at a menu and not just choose something that I would have chosen in the past. To
Yeah.
choose something totally different that I normally wouldn't have.
Yeah, like you see, and this is what I love about what I do is I teach people how to look at food differently. Like
Right.
food is a fuel source, and you have to understand what it is that you're putting into your body. And that makes it so much easier to go out to eat and to do these things when you know exactly what you're eating. Um,
Right.
the people who fail at diets are those who think that they can just eat what's healthy because
Mm.
you could eat sugary yogurt with granola and then have some fruit with it, which is all carbohydrates. And people are wondering, well, why am I not losing weight if I, well, you just overloaded your whole body with carbs. Like, of course you're not going to lose weight.
And it's so much food. Like that's something that I noticed too, just going out with some friends, is it it was like you guys are stuffed. Like you're sitting over there miserable, stuffed. And I'm like, they're looking at me going, "That's all you're eating?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like I'm full. I'm fine. I don't like to have that stuffed feeling. I don't like to be miserable like that."
Like, you still
So
want
I
to be able
mean,
to walk out.
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. And that's something that I've noticed, that I'm just like, oh, it's so nice to not feel that way.
hmm
Not feel like, you've just overstuffed yourself. And me and my husband actually, we've been sharing meals when we go out too,
Yeah.
which, makes it a lot easier. And even sometimes when we share, we're still, not eating it all, and pushing it away or whatever. So I mean, that's nice too.
That's awesome.
I definitely like that feeling. And the energy's incredible, I think.
You feel totally different, right?
Yeah, yeah, I do,
Awesome.
for sure.
Mandy, were you going to say something?
Nope. Just listening.
Just listening. Okay, Mandy, what are you getting out of what Heidi's saying?
I've actually, it's weird because I mean, I too was crazy this week and had a million things going on and Christmas parties and everything. And like we go down to it's weird because she said exactly what I was thinking. Like it's nice to know, okay, it's my morning snack and here's what I have, my options. So I have like turkey, and she had like some crazy green salad thing or whatever, and it's kind of like, okay, there's my protein, there's my carb, there's my green, or whatever that needs to look like, and it's nice to know, okay, this is how much I can have, and not feel that guilt and not trying everything, and kind of relieved that it's like I didn't even want it. Like here's these beautiful truffles that she spent all weekend making, and I'm like, yeah, that's like 2 hours on the treadmill. I'm good. So, it's I seen a shirt over the weekend and it had this pack of McDonald's French fries, and it says this is equal to 2,727 burpees. And I'm sitting there thinking, it took me 5 minutes to do 40. 2,700 burpees, that would take me like 3 days to finish. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. It's weird how it's weird how my mind has just switched from, oh yeah, let's go get French fries, or yeah, I'm going to have like 3 or 4 of those truffles because they're to die for, or whatever, and just being okay with not having it and not even wanting it, and then not feeling guilty about not having it. Yeah. Like there's just that play on everything, where for me it was 3 years ago when it was like, when I was learning that, or 2 years ago when I was learning that about myself, and now to be able to walk into that Christmas party and know what's going to be there and know what I can have and be okay with it and not be like feeling like I had missed something. Does that make sense? Like, yeah. I didn't have that. Well, I didn't get to have one of Coralie's truffles, or it's like, no, I didn't even want one of Coralie's truffles. Instead of like, I didn't feel like I missed anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep. Like, we always have to pass up food all the time. So we were in Sunday school yesterday, and there is this guy in our ward, and he is like a professional chef, like makes like the most amazing like breads and things. So yesterday he brings cookies, and we're in this big like room, and we're sitting across from everyone in like this huge table, and he brings in these cookies, and everyone in the class has a cookie. Then it gets to me and my wife, and we just slide them on down the table, and everyone looked at us like, wow, that was kind of rude. We didn't make mention of it. I mean, like, everyone knows that we're in fitness, but it was, the whole room had this little awkward pause. And I knew people thought it was weird that we had just passed it up. Like, we wouldn't even take one little cookie. And that's the difference, is when you're in control of you, you can have that self-discipline to pass things up. Where to me it's always, I want something more than a cookie. Like, a cookie would be very short-lived, but for what I want is very long-term, so it requires me to be more disciplined, and in the end, I don't want the cookie. Okay?
Yeah.
So these are awesome, because this is what will create long-term results compared to a short-term results. See, people who jump on, like, everyone in January is going to jump on these fad diets, and they're just going to say, I want to lose 10 pounds. Well, 10 pounds is an end goal, which means what's after that? No, most people don't look at what happens after 10 pounds. If I wanted you all to lose 10 pounds, there's an easy solution to it, and that is to deplete everything out of you and just make you lose water. Okay, you cut all the carbs and things out, then you'll lose water weight and you'll lose 10 pounds. Very easy. But my game is always long term. With all my clients, like, I'm not here necessarily to prep people for getting on stage. I'm not creating bodybuilders. The majority of my clients, I just want them to have a healthy lifestyle. Okay. And tonight when we were talking to my wife's new coach, is he doesn't test body fat, and he doesn't have his clients hop on the scale. Now, this guy's prepping people to get on stage where looks are everything, right? The only way he does it is before and after pictures. But he doesn't have you test body fat or anything. But it's just, you take progress pictures every single week. That's how he measures it.
Huh.
And I thought about that, and I just said, that's so genius. Because in our minds, the scale tells us everything.
Right.
And we miss the fine-tuning that takes place if we just take progress pictures every week instead. So for me, I have some consideration to do because I kind of like that idea better than anything else I've done. But we are about halfway through the program. So what I want everyone to do is to take their midway pictures. So exactly what you were wearing before and exactly the same camera angles and everything. You need to take your midway pictures and you need to put it up to your before picture and you need to have them side by side. And you need to see for yourself how far you've come along and how big of a difference it makes. Not only that, but how powerful it will be for you and anyone else you talk to say that you survived the holidays. Not only that, but you dominated the holidays, you lost weight, and you feel good, and you're going into this new year completely different. You need to do that for you. So what is it that you're going to do?
Post your after pictures.
Well, you don't have to post them if you don't want to.
No, but for me, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to. No way. Not in what I did for my first one. Sorry. I like you guys too much.
Okay. So Heidi, what are you going to do?
I'm going to take pictures.
Yep. Awesome. Okay. For the next, do you have any questions for me right now?
Okay, I guess I do. On the exercises, I haven't printed it off yet. So, on the cardio. So if I've already been doing like the 30 minutes and then I've always done like the walk fast pace for a minute and then run for a minute, walk, back, every other minute kind of thing. I've always been doing that. So do I just continue doing that, or what would you suggest I do to step it up?
Oh, boy. So you get to intensify that. Okay, so what
Yes.
have you been doing? What pattern have you been doing in that?
So usually when I get on the treadmill, I'll usually just walk for the first 2 minutes just to kind of get myself going. And then after that, for the third minute, I'll run, and then I'll walk for another minute, then run, then walk, and I'll do that all the way up to 30 minutes.
Wow, so you're doing 30-minute 1 minute sprints?
Yes.
Cool. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to put the treadmill at an incline.
Okay.
And then do it that way. Either that or speed it up in your runs.
Okay.
Yep.
But still just do a minute at a time?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll work. That's awesome. Good for you.
I love the treadmill, so it's my fave.
Good thing we have this recorded because you're one of the very few that can say that.
Yeah, I was sitting there thinking, you're a show-off.
Well, put me on an elliptical. I don't do so great on ellipticals. I'll do it, but I don't like it.
That's awesome. So, how much weight have you lost total now, Heidi?
11 pounds.
Good job.
That's awesome. So, in 1 month, you've lost 11 pounds.
Yes.
So cool.
And the funny thing about it is, honestly, like I'm really excited about it. But in the past, there was no way I would never be happy with 11 pounds in a month, because when you go on those strict diets, you could lose 20 pounds in a month, and I usually could do that. But then I'd always gain it back.
Yeah.
But this time, like, I'm just so excited. Like, I'm thrilled.
That's so cool.
that I've done that. Like I'm way excited about it.
Yeah. Do you notice a difference as far as like you're tightening up and you're not feeling like softer?
Yes, yes, definitely,
Okay. Because
definitely.
that's the best indication that you're losing fat. Like the one thing that people don't understand about weight loss is if you're getting softer, you're actually losing lean mass and you're going the wrong direction. So the weight that you're losing is actually bad. And when you're actually doing it right, things will get tighter and like your muscles will get harder. So you'll feel more solid. And that's what
Oh
you.
yeah.
So yeah,
I'm
when you're
sorry.
going and elbowing your husband and you're like, watch out, and then
Yeah.
you're gonna feel it a lot more, right?
Yeah, yeah, I've definitely felt the difference in my whole body, honestly. Like
Good.
I can even, like my sides are sucking in weird spots that I've never had them suck in before. So, I mean, it's it's pretty cool.
What does your husband think so far?
He's really excited about it.
Good.
He like I said, even my kids, they're so cute when it came to us cleaning out the cupboards because I kind of wanted all of us to be involved with it just so they could see and I went shopping and kind of refilled stuff up a little bit and they're excited. They know that we're changing
That's so
the
cool.
way we're eating and so they're pretty excited about it too.
And that will be
Well,
like,
they'll feel better too. They'll notice a difference in themselves too.
yeah. And it will be like, this will be like a life-changing moment in them that where they'll, I mean, this will benefit them for the whole life. You want to train your kids to understand the difference between healthy and unhealthy foods and how to develop this healthy lifestyle. And that, like, see, if you train your kids to enjoy healthy foods, then they won't turn to the unhealthy foods. They won't crave them. They won't say that they're missing out on anything because in reality, they'll always love the healthy food more. Okay?
Right.
So let me bring this
My
up. Oh, what was that?
I was just gonna say my son's my hardest one because I have the hardest time getting him to eat vegetables.
Hey, don't worry. I have a hard time eating vegetables too.
He loves green beans though, so that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, that's a good thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the menu 3 and tell me when you can see my screen.
Okay, I can see it.
Okay. Mandy, is your computer broken?
Yep.
Okay.
Nope, I got it.
Okay, you can see it.
Yep.
Okay, so this week, just going over the menu, what I want you to notice is meal 4 has completely changed. Okay? So, meal 4 is going into more whole foods. And this one right here, where you see the ProFit protein, that one should just be a regular protein. So, any kind of protein that you want. I
So
forgot.
we don't have to do like a protein shake,
Well,
right?
protein shake, yeah.
See, that's where I'm having a hard time, like,
Okay.
because I do my protein shake in the morning with a banana before I work out,
Yeah.
and more than one protein shake a day is really messing with my body.
Okay. So we'll make some adjustments to yours, Heidi,
Okay,
and switch all those. Okay. So like this one with the protein at the night, I'm not gonna have you do that one.
okay,
I'm gonna give you something else there instead.
okay, sweet.
And then also right here, we're gonna switch out this one too.
Okay,
So we'll talk after the phone call.
okay,
So, so here's the method to the madness and why I'm doing it like this. This one's now I know why this one's. Hang on. I guess that one will work. There we go.
You want me to change mine to this?
No,
Okay. Because I was going to say, I'm going to starve in the morning.
no, don't worry.
Okay.
So right here we're changing up, and the method to all of this is I started out and I had a lot of processed foods and what we call dirty foods. And I can get people really good results using more processed foods. But as we progress, what we want to do is we want to adapt the lifestyle of more whole foods. So, Heidi, do you know what whole foods are?
Yeah, they're the ones that you kind of like with your meat. You have to go to the butcher. You can't use the packaged stuff.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what you said last time. It was if it goes through too many hands, something like that.
Yeah, like if you can't grow it or hunt it,
Yeah.
then it's really you have to think about how many processes it went to in order for it to get into that form. Okay, so we try to get more into whole foods because whole foods have more nutrition and vitamins in it, and they are more calorically dense. And so all around, they're going to be better for our bodies, and our bodies will naturally do better with healthy foods like this or whole foods like this. Okay, so that's why meal four is now into more of a whole meal, um, and this is how our bodies just work. They they need this nutrition to be fueled, and so we just put in more whole foods and we just clean it up, and this is all we're doing is we're tightening it up more and more. So this is where to most people it's so different because most people only think in breakfast, lunch, and dinner, where now we are changing it and we're saying nope, just a meal one, two, three, four, five, six. So we completely get rid of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay. And so, Heidi, as a mom, something that you should consider is giving your kids snacks and making sure that they are like, now for them, you really don't have to be too strict on them. You can actually still give them like the string cheeses, you can still give them the Triscuits, but make sure they're doing more of a meal combination. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's
They
gonna,
love cottage cheese, so we're good.
oh yeah, then yeah, you'll be fine on cottage cheese. Okay. So with your nutrition, all we're doing is we're tightening it up more and more and more. The more we clean it up, the better results we get. Okay, and you're still eating about 1,700 calories. Okay, how, uh, Heidi, how have you felt on more calories, like 1,700 calories?
I probably don't eat it all.
Okay.
I know that, like, even with my oatmeal in the morning, I know I don't eat it all. And I'm just, I mean, when I'm full, I shouldn't eat, correct? Like, that's the way I look at it.
Not
But,
necessarily. It just kind of depends on your results. So you don't want to go into starvation. So we try to avoid like feeling hungry, because we don't want to like slow down the metabolism.
right. And I definitely, like I was telling you last time, is like, I can tell when I'm hungry because my stomach starts burning now.
Oh,
And it pretty much every 2 to 3 hours. Sometimes two, sometimes three.
perfect.
So, I mean, I'm making sure that I'm eating, like I'm not saying I'm not eating five the 5 times, 6 times a day. I'm just not, I probably don't eat all of the food,
So you're
like
around
100% of my whole serving,
okay. So you're around 15 to 1,600 calories.
probably.
Good. No, that's just fine. My suggestion to you is try to bump it up a little bit more.
Okay.
You might not lose and you might stall a little bit on the weight, but that's okay, and that will long term keep you going.
Okay.
Because too much weight drop consistently will actually, well, not consistently, but too much. Like if you have another big drop and another big drop, like your body's gonna hit a plateau sooner. So that's why
Mhm.
it's better to feed it more.
Okay. I will try and eat as much as I'm supposed to.
Okay. Yeah, and still play it a little bit by ear. You don't want to necessarily bump it because if you are like at 15, then really you just need to get up to 16, and then after 16, then you can start eating 17.
Okay.
and somewhere in there you might like gain or you might uh, stay still, and then you just adjust according to your results. Okay.
Okay.
So, okay. So here are the workouts for week 3. So Mandy's done this style of workout before, but I'll run through it real quick. So the whole thing with this setup, Heidi, is the first half of the week is all about strength training. So it's building up more strength. Um, so that helps obviously it helps you get stronger so you can lift more weight. Now in the second half of the week, it's all about just more caloric burn, more fat burn. Okay.
Okay.
So Mandy, what could you tell Heidi about these workouts?
Um, like on your rest, like really pay attention to like how long it is. Because if you cut yourself short, you're gonna fatigue faster, and you want to make sure you're being able to finish each one of the reps in the movement. So if it says like a 45-second rest, like check yourself. So watch the clock for 45 seconds. Do the next set, and if you're feeling fatigued, then jump that up to like the 50-second rest. And then if you're getting tired more, then maybe you should drop your weight. Or if you're not as tired, maybe you should increase your weight.
Okay.
But on that 10th rep, it's going to be hard to push it up. Like really concentrate. So if you're at 10 pounds on the incline dumbbell bench press, jump it up to 15. If 15 is easy, then go to 20. Like that 10th rep should be super hard. And if I am not shaking at my 8th or 9th rep, then I'll always go up to the next weight. Always.
Okay.
And even if I only get 6 in the next set, then I'll drop. If I'm at 15 and I get to number 6, I'll drop to like 10 pounds and finish out that set. But I always go to where I'm shaking on
Okay.
that 8th or 9th rep.
Okay. So it's a good thing it's good to get this kind of feedback because you want to be able to push yourself, Heidi, and a lot of people when they're starting to weight train, they get a little bit nervous about everything. And they really start to like, should I do this and we start to run these stories that we're going to get injured, we're going to get too bulky and all of these things. So it's good to get this kind of feedback so that during your workout you're able to kind of gauge how you're supposed to feel and where you're at. Okay.
Okay.
So, are you working out at home or at a gym?
I have been working out at home
Okay. So,
lately. I do have a gym membership, and I was going to the gym, but most of all this stuff, that I needed was at home, so I just kind of stayed at home and been doing it.
yeah. Do you have a dumbbell or what do you have?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Do you have like
I
a
have.
bar at home?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do you have like a pull-up bar?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Then you should still be able to do this at home then.
Okay.
So, and these will work just fine, but we'll make little adjustments if you need them. So just let me know.
Okay. So on some of these, if I'm not sure what they are, I can just because this is what I did on last time is I just would type it in on the internet
Mm-hmm.
and find out, what it looked like, so I wasn't sure what I was supposed to be doing.
Yep.
And some of them are different.
Yeah.
Like, is there a different way to do it? Is there a place where you would like me to go look so that I'm doing it the way you would like me to be doing it?
No, like I think with this one especially, I'm probably gonna have to like shoot videos for all of these and put them out.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll probably shoot a video and put it out and let people see what it is.
Okay.
No,
My laying hamstring curls hurt. Just so you know, I'm just gonna warn you.
Which
They
one?
hurt.
this one, right?
The lying hamstring curls. They're on your Tuesday.
They're fun.
That's my
No matter
tomorrow.
how strong I have gotten, I cannot do those. I just don't have the balance for them. I bitch every single time they're in my workout.
So yeah, so I'll try to get that out as soon as I can. So, okay?
Okay.
Don't you have some of them already, Matt? I
Yeah,
saw
I
you've done some of them already.
have some of them. So I'm gonna look for them too. But I think I better just shoot a video so it's like just the exact workout that we're doing.
Yeah.
So, okay, and then let's go into cardio. Well, we don't need to go to cardio because you know exactly what you're doing on that. So, yeah, we're doing more interval training, and so the one thing that you have to realize about cardio and weight training, and this is one thing that we were talking about tonight with Cassidy's coach, is that this is all about balance. So what I mean by that is we turn up the intensity, but everything has to be balanced. If I want to train your body more frequently during the week, then I have to split it up into upper body, lower body. That gives it enough recovery time, and I can turn up the intensity on the upper body and then the lower body days, and I can do it more frequent. So then what I do is I turn up the cardio, and rather than making me go for hours upon hours of cardio, instead, why don't you just change the intensity of the cardio? It's much easier to turn up the intensity rather than to expand the length. So if you decide to expand the length of your cardio, then what you need to do is you have to make balance and you have to cut back a little bit on the weight training intensity. Does that make sense?
It
Yeah.
does.
See, a lot of times people try to turn up the intensity and turn up the intensity and turn up the intensity, and then all of a sudden there's one off balance. And then what happens is that now your body becomes overtrained because now it's overtraining in cardio and it's overtraining in your weight training. And to catch up to that, it's very hard for your body to get the recovery time, and it does a lot of damage to your body. So whenever you do anything, and this is why it has to be a progression, where I can train 6 days a week and do cardio 5 times a week, but I've had to really train up to it, and I have to really eat enough food for it. If I don't eat all my food, I'm totally wiped out, and I'm weak and I'm fatigued, and I just don't function very well. So nutrition plays that same role where you increase your intensity, then you got to increase your calories. And Heidi, that's one of the main reasons why I'm telling you this week why you have to increase your calories. Otherwise, you'll start throwing your body into a starvation.
Okay.
So, so everything has to be balanced. And as you progress, everything has to be balanced at the same point. See, a lot of people with their nutrition is that they'll keep it down at the low calories and they won't increase their calories to match the weights and the cardio. You have to it has to be a happy balance. Okay.
Okay.
So what do you hear me saying so far?
Feed your body so you can work harder.
Yeah. What a weird
It's
concept.
the
Huh?
truth.
What a weird concept. See, this is why people in today's society have it all wrong, is because they don't see. So this is one thing that I wanted to talk to you all about today is about caloric burn. See, most people look calories burned as I'm gonna go do like a half hour on the treadmill, burn like 300, 400 calories, and I'm good. Well, the thing about cardio is that the calorie burn stops right when you're done with the cardio, right? And that's like everyone
Mhm.
knows that. That's why they go do the treadmill. They're like, I gotta go burn calories. Okay. Now, the difference is when you do weight training, is that the calories burned are all like during your workout, you're burning calories, but the day after, you're also burning calories. And the reason why is because your body's trying to recover and rebuild those muscles and replenish what's called your glycogen storages. So it's trying to recover, repair, and so you're burning calories the next day. So there's an afterburn effect that comes with weight training, and it's the day after. So if you diminish your calories the day of and the day after, it's very hard. Can you see how a negative continues to add more negatives?
Yeah.
Sure.
So you have to feed your body. This is why when someone is completely depleted, I'll say, go eat like a whole pizza. Like, no lie, no joke. And they're like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm like, no, you're diminished. Like, you're completely, your body's going to be ruined. So go eat like a hamburger and fries. I don't even care what it is. Like, go refuel. And they do it, and they're like, I feel so much better. Like, my body feels great. And I'm like, yeah, because you were depleting your body of everything. Okay? So everyone has calories looked at very wrong as far as like how to burn them and what to do. And the reason why I'm starting to add more interval training is because now you're going to add in more caloric burn, and it's called EPOC. So now you're going to have more of an afterburn with your cardio. So that's why we like interval training, is because now it adds that EPOC in there like it does with your weight training. So when you're done with your cardio, you're still going to be burning calories rather than just when you're doing steady state cardio. Okay. So did that all make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's a huge, huge piece of the puzzle when it comes to weight loss that people totally neglect, and really like they don't understand how calories work and how your body uses your calories. Because if you only look
Mhm.
at them that one way, like, you'll always sabotage yourself. So, okay, all right. Is there any questions before we wrap up?
Nope.
No, I think I'm good.
Cool. So that was like so powerful. Like, Heidi, like your story is like inspirational. Like, I know I'm inspired. Like, holy cow, Heidi is like totally changed, and like anyone can do this. So
Well, thank you. Like
I love it. Yay.
I love it too. I love it.
so cool. All right, ladies, if you have any questions for me, reach out. You're doing awesome, and go to the group and post. Like, utilize the group. I know from your guys' group to the other group, it's not being utilized as much as it could be. If you saw what was happening with the other group and their involvement, talking and struggles and communicating with each other, you would see how strong of a bond they all create with their fitness goals and the struggles and things that they go through. So really utilize the group, post, teach. Like tonight, I want you to post in the group things that you have learned from this webinar. And that goes for anyone else who watches the webinar, to go and post what you learned, like 3 takeaways that you got from this webinar. So can you do that?
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you, ladies, for being on the call. It was awesome, and have a great night and a happy new year.